Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video I'm going to be doing something really fun that I've been wanting to do for a while. I have these two skeins of Karen Blossom cakes that I've had sitting around since last year. I bought them on my birthday and they're in the colorway Caribbean Sea. And I've been trying to think of what I wanted to do with them, and then I discovered the Granny Hexagon cardigan. And I thought it would be so much fun to try to make one myself. I'm going to be using the pattern that Passionate Kelsey put out on her YouTube. And I am going to be seeing how long it will take me to do this pattern, how easy it is for me to understand, and how much I like it in the end. So let's get started. Also in this video, I'm going to be reviewing this yarn. This is one strand of it up close, and it is a soft gradient, so it goes from dark-ish blue to a almost purple back to a lighter teal, and it is so pretty. And I'm very excited to see how it will work up in this pattern. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to pull up the YouTube tutorial and I will get started on it. I'm so excited. Like I was saying earlier, I'm going to be using this pattern by Passionate Kelsey, although Annie from Hooks and Healers has her own version of it, and honestly, just looking at them, I can't tell the difference. Let me show you up close. So you can see on Annie's one, the cuff and everything and the ribbing. Then scrolling up to Kelsey's one, it honestly looks pretty much the same. So I'm going to go ahead and follow this one right here, and we'll see how it goes. I'm going to figure out what hook size to use, and we'll get started. Okay, so just watch the intro, and she is using a number 3 weight yarn, but she says you can use any yarn size that you want. I'm going to be using this. It's a number 4 weight yarn, and she is sizing up her hook size from a 4mm to, I think it's a 5.5mm. She's actually using a 6.5mm instead of a 4mm. I really want to use my 5mm because it is one of my only Clover & More hooks that I have, but I don't know if I should or not. So these are my crochet hooks, and I have 3 Clover & More hooks. I have a 8mm, a 5mm, and then a 4mm, which is into the abyss. So I think what I'm going to do is try using a 5.5mm and see how that works, and if I don't like working with that, I will size back down to a 5mm, and I'm also going to start the timer as soon as I start crocheting. I am officially starting the stopwatch, and I am, instead of doing a magic circle like she does, I'm going to be doing chain 3, I think, method. I can do the magic circle, it's just I don't want my granny square to come apart. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, it has been 6 minutes and I just finished row 2, and I'm actually going to frog this and restart my timer and use a 6mm hook because it is not as flowy and drapey as I wanted it to be. So I'm going to size up from a 5.5 to a 6mm, frog this. Although I do love how these colors are looking. I think that is so pretty. So we're just going to hit that button and we're going to frog this and start over again. And no, I'm not mad. I'm glad I figured it out before I got too far into the pattern. Alrighty, so I just got to the same point that I was last time with this hook. And this went by so much quicker. I don't know if it's because I remembered what she was doing and just followed it myself. But 3 minutes, y'all. 3 minutes. So I'm loving this hook size. It is a lot better, it's drapier, and it's easier to work with than the 5.5. So I'm going to go ahead and go on and see how much I can get done before my mom calls me for lunch. Okay, so I just got to the point where one side measures 4 inches, which is how long it needed to be for my sweater, because I measured it against a jacket that fits me very well. And this, let me get it folded. I'm trying to do it one-handed. This is what it looks like folded. It is looking very small. So I'm gonna watch more of her tutorial and see how she does this. Also, I am getting worried that I'm gonna run out of yarn because this is my first skein and it's about halfway through. I only have one more skein. I was thinking that I could add this color in if I needed to, like on the cuffs and the trim, which I might do. But anyway, I'm gonna continue on. Okay, so I went ahead and added one more row, and now I'm to 15 inches across, which I feel like is just a little bit better. I wanted this to be a more baggy fit, and I can always steam it. So now I'm actually gonna start on the next part. Okay, so I have everything attached now, and I just did the first row of the sleeves, and I tried it on, and actually this is pretty baggy too, so I really didn't need to do that last round, and I think I will have enough to do the sleeves. Let me try it on to show you. Okay, so I hope you can see, but the sleeve is already worked up a bit, so it's already half there. I just have about halfway to go. And then I'll of course add length to the bottom and stuff just like she does, but I really like it. We'll see how much I get done on this. I have some other things that I need to do other than just crocheting this cardigan, so I'm gonna meet y'all back when I have finished this sleeve. Okay everyone, so it is the next day and I have some awesome progress to show y'all. So I finished the first panel. I need to make one more of these, and this is how it looks on. So this is it. I will be adding more length and width to it after I finish the second panel. I just don't want to do it right now before I know how much yarn I have left. In case you were wondering, this is how much I have left of the first ball of yarn, so I'm pretty confident that I should have enough to get the other side done, plus enough to build it out a little bit more. and I really like it. You can see the cuff that I ended up doing. Passionate Kelsey did a lot more chains than I did. I just did 7 chains and then 6 single crochets down, but I really like how it turned out. And I'm gonna go ahead now and start on the second panel. So hopefully we can get a good portion of that done today. The stopwatch is at 2 hours, which is pretty good. A little bit longer than I would like, but I feel like if I can get this sweater done in about 5 hours, that would be great. So I'm going to go ahead and continue on there. I'm not going to be able to spend all afternoon on this, but I am going to get the hexagon built out a little bit. So let's do it. Alright, it is the next day. I think I filmed yesterday. If not, I'm sorry, but I think it's the next day. And where I left you yesterday was I was just about to start the second panel. Where I'm coming to you today is I just finished the second panel. So let me show you. Here are both of the panels finished. I really like them. And in case you were wondering, this is how much yarn we have left. I was able to use the scrap up from the last ball for the second panel, and that worked really well. So now I'm just going to follow the rest of the tutorial and hopefully get this finished today, because this video is technically supposed to come out today. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I am watching LA Crochet doing a market results video, and I had to show you. This is the sweater I'm wearing right now. It is a very easy sweater pattern. I'll try to link it below. It's more of a formula. You take your measurements and then you chain to that measurement, and then you do treble crochets. And I was able to use up my scrap yarn. I made this last fall, I think it was, and it's a really good fall, winter, spring, summer transition piece. I am starting to get warm though, so I may take it off. I have my window open. It is a beautiful, slightly cloudy day, but I'm going to try to get this done. I don't know if I've told y'all in this video, but I am trying to batch film, I think 4 videos at once, because next week our church is having a big event that takes most of the week. And then in the last part of the week, I'm going to be trying to catch up on some school, so I don't get behind. So I'm trying to get a bunch of videos filmed, edited, and scheduled, so I don't have to worry about that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I'm going to get back to work here and see if I can get this done. Let's say an hour. It is 3:25 right now, so I'm going to get going. Okay, it's kind of embarrassing. I already filmed this section where I talk about the pattern and everything, and my camera battery ran out, so I changed the batteries, and I thought, oh, let me check that video to see if I was in frame and everything. My whole head's cut off in that last video. It's very annoying. So let's do this again. Take 2. So I am weaving in the ends currently on my cardigan. I have finished, and I have some notes about the yarn and the pattern and what I did differently. So first off, the yarn, I wouldn't classify it as a number 4 weight like they do. I would classify it as a number 3 lightweight yarn, just for the fact that it is a chain neck construction, and when stretched, it stretches out too thin, and when you're crocheting, you automatically stretch your yarn out. So that is why I think it is a little bit lighter weight. This may be my favorite yarn ever, like my favorite construction, and it's raining. Like a little gentle sprinkling rain. I don't know if y'all can hear it. Anyway, I really like this yarn, and the colors worked up great too. I don't know if Michael still sells this yarn. I bought this last year for my birthday, which is well over a year ago. But anyway, the pattern, Passionate Kelsey did great on the pattern. The only thing that I think she should either change or she could have done better or something to look out when you're following her tutorial is it is really hard to follow along when she's turning the piece and such because she doesn't have the camera up high enough so you can't see the whole bulk of the sweater, which is understandable because it is a huge sweater. It's really hard to see all of the sweater when she's turning it, so you have to be watching very carefully or you will completely lose track of which way it's pointing and stuff. Thankfully, I didn't have an issue with keeping track of things, but for a beginner, I would recommend that you are very careful to make sure that you don't flip things the wrong way. Also, a note that I would make if you were making this pattern, write down how many rows you do before adding on to make the sleeves. So count out from the center of your sweater and count how many rows there are that you have to do. That will just make it a lot easier in the end when you are making the second panel. And also the second panel went by so much faster than the first panel. Let me look at the final time. Okay, so my final time is 4 hours, 24 minutes, and 19 seconds, which is very, very good for a sweater or a cardigan. I feel like sweaters and cardigans always take so long. Also, another thing that I did different on this was instead of doing the ribbed border like she did, I did 2 rows of double crochets for the border because I was running out of yarn and this is how much I have left. And I honestly like the look of it better than the ribbing. So this is the border. I did it all along the sides and along the bottom. And where she has you build out the bottom, I only did 1 more row of the granny square clusters along the bottom just because I was worried about running out of yarn. I'm glad I stopped or I wouldn't have been able to get the whole border on. So those were my notes and now let's go try this on. I'm so excited. Alright, so first I'm just going to give you an overview of the look of it. And also I may block this a little bit, steam it, just to where it gets a little bit longer because I am not one who likes a cropped cardigan or sweater, even though a lot of them always turn out to be that size because I always seem to run out of yarn when making cardigans. Anyway, so I'm going to try this on now. I love it! Oh my goodness, it's so awesome, y'all. Let me look in the mirror. I love it! Okay, so I think it turned out awesome. I love the sleeves. Usually I don't like a billowy sleeve, but this is just the right size for that. And I really like how it turned out. The colors are great. And I am definitely going to be making another one. Not anytime soon because I have a project coming up that requires all of my time and attention, which you should be learning about in the next video or the one after that. I don't know which one. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. It was a little bit chaotic with me trying to figure out if I had enough yarn or not. I am glad that I did not have to use a secondary color because I really like how it looks with just the one color. And this was only a 3-day project. I could have easily gotten it done in 1 day if I wanted to, but I spread it out because I had so much to do. I love how it turned out. I will be blocking it a little bit on the panels just to make it a little bit longer and a little bit looser. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If so, give it a like and let me know in the comments what you'd like to see from me next. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye!